I'm very glad you made it. You have up to 5 minutes to make your case to the Chamber. There will then be an opportunity for members to ask you questions. So the floor is yours. We look forward to hearing what you have to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, my name is John Hall from Our Republic, and we look at this motion mostly as a branding issue more than anything else, because the Duke of Edinburgh as a title and a role doesn't necessarily have much of a relationship with the City of Edinburgh Council. You all are our elected representatives, along with, of course, the members of both parliaments, and you are our democratically elected leaders. And so if we are going to have titles, if we are going to have anything that is related to the city, we at Our Republic feel it's important that they are linked to the democratic process in some way. And of course the Duke of Edinburgh title has no relationship at present with the city. And we feel that it is important through this bill for a debate to be had about whether or not we recognise the Duke of Edinburgh and whether or not they have any sort of relationship with the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was commendably brief. We're now open to questions from elected members. Councillor Parker.
Yeah, thank you for the deputation. That was short and sweet. There has been some discussion about whether this motion is important or not in the view of others. To help us come to a view about that, I wondered if you could outline what you think the effects of this motion passing would be. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Yeah, so really there's two things that might happen in this case. One is that it might be that the Palace and the Duke completely ignores it, which would demonstrate the point, which is that they don't really have a relationship with the city at all. In which case, I think it would be a really good thing that this motion had been passed, because in that case, we would demonstrate the point that they don't have a relationship with the city. Or it might be that they try and get this motion reversed, which in of itself would be a good step forward for democracy, because if they come and engage and try and talk of these things and build a relationship with this chamber, that would be a good sign of bringing democracy to a role that presently has none.
Thanks so much. Councillor Pachenda.
Thank you, Lord Provost. Thank you for coming along, being the one that turned up as well. Just a quick question. I wonder how you feel about the fact that for a lot of us, when we decide to enter into elected office, we feel that our Republican point of view is regarded as being not only uncomfortable, but becomes difficult because we're asked sometimes to make certain oaths or take part in certain occasions. And for example, for someone who's a Republican to become Lord Provost would be quite a difficult thing, given the occasions that you have to engage in, the types of things that you have to do. And so would you see this motion as a way to move towards the unpicking of that type of relationship in which really it's almost seen as an obligation to show your allegiance to the crown to hold a high position?
Thank you. Yeah, I would. One thing that Our Republic, the campaigning organisation that I work for, does is it looks for ways in which we can unpick the undemocratic parts of our uncodified constitution. And one of the ways in which we can start doing that is we can begin testing the bounds of that. We can see what we are and aren't allowed to do. And by passing this motion, making clear that representation isn't a democratic one, making clear that the Duke of Edinburgh does not have a relationship with the city, we are beginning a process of allowing Republican voices to be heard and allowing a discussion between which bits of tradition and our history we want to keep and we want to insert into a modern democracy, and which bits need to be let go.
Thanks very much. I think you have exhausted the questions, so can I thank you for your deputation, can I thank you for the manner in which you've conducted yourself, and just to say we will be considering this later on today. If you've got considerable patience, you can wait in the public gallery, or you can watch it on the webcast later this afternoon. You're very, very welcome.